Wai Ping Sung was born in Shanghai, China, and was the oldest of 3 children. When her parents moved to a more remote area of China, she was sent to Tianjin, China, to live with her grandparents, where there were better educational opportunities. This was a stormy period in China, rocked by the changes of the Cultural Revolution. Ping's primary education was interrupted by the revolution. She later was chosen to attend the Tianjin Foreign Language School. There, she hoped her studies might lead to a career as a diplomat, like Premier Zhou Enlai.
During the Cultural Revolution, my grandfather was considered to be a spy because he was an aerospace engineer. I remember one day my grandmother was sitting in the middle of the house, surrounded by Red Guards, and one of them took me to my grandmother, pointing at her, telling me that she was the enemy of the people. I was so confused. Finally, Premier Zhou Enlai took a stand and made the statement, this group of people has contributed to building of our country. We should not be treating them like this.
The Cultural Revolution had banned entrance opportunities to college, but Ping was fortunate that she came of age for college just as the revolution ended, and entrance exams were reinstated.
I think 1 out of 100 people who took the exam was admitted into a Chinese university. I was very lucky. I got into Beijing Languages University.
After 3 years at Beijing Languages University, Ping decided to go to America to study further. She applied and was accepted to Princeton with an offer of a full scholarship and free plane ticket. In order to leave China, she obtained permission to study abroad from the Chinese Ministry of Education and then approached the U.S. Embassy for a visa.
When I went to obtain the visa, I was so nervous. I sent in the application. I filled out the form. The first thing he said to me was, I'm very curious, how come a baby is going to Princeton? I immediately realized that I put on the wrong year for my birthday. Without missing a beat, I told him, but this is a very smart baby. She got a full scholarship to Princeton. He just laughed and stamped my visa application. That's how I came to America.
Sun's transition to America at Princeton was made easier by her strong English skills, but some things defied translation.
I remember Economics 101 class. I just didn't understand what the professor was talking about. The professor was going on and on about the supply and demand of Budweiser. I had no clue what Budweiser was. After the class, I had the courage to walk up to the professor and asked him what Budweiser was. You should have seen his face. But eventually he realized that I was an international student. He was very nice. He said, oh, Budweiser, it's just some kind of beer people here like to drink.
By her junior year, Ping had decided that a career in law would be the best use of her talents. She did an internship at a law firm in New York City, and upon graduation from Princeton, applied to NYU and Columbia Law Schools, and was accepted by both. While visiting NYU, she was introduced to Professor David Lebron, then director of the Center of International Studies and informal advisor to Chinese students. Although she would choose Columbia for her law degree, she became friends with David, a relationship that eventually led to their marriage.
At Princeton, every undergraduate has to write a thesis in order to graduate. So I realized that I quoted David in my thesis before I even met him.
After graduation from Columbia, Ping practiced law in New York City at White & Case and at Sidley, Austin, Brown & Wood, where she primarily practiced corporate securities law.
I was fortunate enough to work at an international law firm. In a way, I was playing a role in helping both China and the United States.
In 2003, comfortably established with a beautiful apartment overlooking the Hudson River, David received a call about a new opportunity in Houston.
David said that the most dangerous thing you can do is to pick up the phone at 5:30 on a Friday afternoon. It was a search firm telling him that Rice University is looking for a new president, whether David was interested or not. David said, well, probably not, because we were very happy in New York. By then, we had 2 children, and both were in great schools, and David was serving as Dean of Columbia Law School for about 8 years, and things were going very well.
The search committee convinced the couple to make a visit to Houston and Rice before making a final decision. And so, in November of 2003, the couple arrived in Houston for a tour and never looked back.
When we first got here, the people are just wonderful. They are open, they are welcoming, they are very inclusive and very diverse.
After moving to Houston in June of 2004, David took office as the 7th president of Rice University. Ping was offered a position at Yetter, Wharton, and Coleman.
Go our way on this mediation, so
Definitely.
I think this one, this one, you recognize this one, I think, because
Oh, yes.
In addition, she began to work at Rice University as an ambassador.
I do quite a bit for Rice. Basically, since I couldn't really be a real ambassador, I do have a title as Rice University representative. So I view my role as that of a people's ambassador.
Ping is deeply involved in the community as well. She serves as a board member for Texas Children's Hospital, Teach for America, and is also active with the Asia Society, United Way, and St. John's School. Earlier this year, Ping and David successfully chaired the Tiger Ball for the Asia Society, and were also honored by Teach for America for their contributions to K-12 education. Last November, Judge Keith Ellison invited Ping to be the speaker at a swearing-in ceremony of new citizens.
Looking at the new citizens reminded me of my own experience becoming a citizen. I share with them my experience coming to America, how when I first came to America, I had $30 in my pocket. But through hard work and study, and the opportunities given to me by Princeton and Columbia, I became a contributing citizen of the United States. I encouraged them to participate in both political process or teach their children to pursue education. At the same time, do not forget their own culture. The more cultures we know, the better we are as a society.